Hi everyone, Michaela from BrushHand here today. We're going to be doing a walkthrough of our new feature, Custom Substrates, which has been highly requested. So we're really excited that we've been able to implement that within the BrushHand system, and so you can use it throughout your quoting. So it is really similar to Custom Meter Rates. So if you haven't checked out Custom Meter Rates, these videos kind of work hand in hand to give you a full understanding of the customizations available within BrushHand. But for today, we're going to be looking at the Custom Substrates. So there's two ways you can add a custom substrate. You can do it in the home panel here, or you can do it through adding a new quote. So I'm going to select add a custom substrate, and it's brought us to this page. Now I'm going to do a breakdown of the maths involved in this, so you're ensuring that the rates that you are getting are suitable for the system. Otherwise it can throw your quote out a fair bit. It's not too complicated. You'll see what I mean once I break it down. But yeah, it's really important to make sure that you are following these rules when using either meters squared, linear meter, or a quantity item. So I'll break this down for you in a moment. So as I said, there's two places that you can add a new custom substrate, off the home panel as well as within a quote while you're going through. So I'll show you the areas in a quote that you can use your custom substrates. It was predominantly built out for the addition of the grid. So you can use custom substrates all the way throughout the grid here. And within the original, we've been able to implement that within the interior section. And that is the only section within the original way of quoting that will allow for custom substrates. Potentially in the future, we can look at redoing the original quoting system and those areas, but for now it is just interior. So you'll see here custom substrates is available. To start off with though, I'm going to do a rundown on how to actually make your own custom substrate. And again, as I said, we're going to break down the maths involved in that. You can see that you can give it your own title. So this is where we might have one for roofing, or plasterboard spray, or plasterboard brush and roll. So these are the kind of things you can add in. Today I'm going to use an example that I know we don't have in our default substrates. So I'm going to do one of those doors, the big glass front doors that have that massive glass panel in the middle, and then maybe like a timber trim around the edges. So I'm going to call it a glass door with timber frame. And you can break this down even further. So if you wanted to be really specific, you could have this one as stain, and you could do a separate one for this kind of substrate for paint. So I'm just going to leave stain there. Now we're going to select the unit of measurement. So our system predominantly runs doors of hours per item. So that's why you'll see these decimal increments here. And again, I will break down the mathematics for you. So I'm going to tick per quantity or per item. So that's hours per quantity or per item. So I'll break that down for you now. With our meters squared and linear meter values, they are meters squared per hour and linear meters per hour. So that means if you do 100 meters squared in an hour, your rate is 100. If you do 16 meters squared in an hour, your rate is 16. And the same for linear meters. So if I did 30 linear meters in an hour, my rate is 30. Now where it gets a bit different is when you're doing the quantity or per item rates. So quantity is hours per item, not items per hour. So hours per item. So if it takes me 20 minutes to do one door, my rate is 20 minutes divided by 60 minutes equals 0.33 hours. So our rate is 0.33. Now jumping back to our custom substrates form, you'll also see that we have variations between prime first coat and second coat. That is completely up to you. You can keep them all the same, but if you take a bit longer to do a prime coat because you've got to take that extra care with the prep and whatnot, that's when you can kind of reduce that. So that means the hours that it would take you to do that certain substrate would be higher. So the lower the number, the longer it's going to take. The higher the number, the quicker it's going to take for that instance. Okay, so I'm going to pop in my rate now. And we're going to hit submit. And that has saved our custom substrates. These are editable at any time in all custom substrates, so you can change those. You can even duplicate them to make it really easy to add some new ones. So I might jump into this one here and edit, and I'll make this one paint. and that's when you can then adjust your rates in here, and then you've got 2 custom substrates ready to go. So once I save this one, I'm going to jump into a new quote to show you how to use this. So now that we're in a new quote, I'm going to skip to the measure up section to show you how this is going to work. In the grid, I'm going to select add new. We'll do an interior, and this is going to be the front door of the property. I'm going to select my custom substrate. Now I just wanted to point out you can only select one or the other, so either a default or a custom. It physically won't allow you to. So if I selected a 2-panel door here and I wanted to select my custom substrate, it's going to get rid of the default substrate and vice versa. So I'm going to select our new one in here. As I said before, you can add on the go. I'm going to select the stained one, and it's going to be a quantity of 1. And the number of coats, I might do a 2-coat system. And you can see here that it's changing those hours for us and the dollar value associated. Now I've got a charge out rate of $100 per hour, and I've done my custom meter rates, so they're all going to come into play when selecting your number of quotes and getting this total dollar amount on the side here. Thanks for checking in. I really hope this video was helpful, and we're really excited that we've been able to implement custom substrates into BrushHand. Again, I'm going to leave the mathematics here on the screen, but we do have those instructions throughout the custom substrates form. And if you did need any assistance or you're having any trouble, please contact us at help@brushhand.com.au. Thanks again.